Now let's take a look at the verse. I'll play through it and then we'll break it down. Now the verse starts off with what is affectionately known as the Hendrix chord. It's actually an E7 sharp 9, but Jimmy used this in so many of his songs that if you say, I'm just playing the Hendrix chord, most people will know what you're talking about. But let's take a look at that chord now. The root note is E, so we'll play on the 7th fret of the A string. That note is E. 6th fret of the D, 7 on the G, 8 on the B. That's E7 sharp 9. Now, because this is an E chord, it's quite all right to include the open low E string. And in fact, we're going to pivot from that open low E string. Okay, so the first groove, the first measure sounds like this. So I'm starting off by playing the open low E string, followed by the rest of the chord, the rest of the E7 sharp 9. So the measure sounds like this. And that's a pretty good estimate of what that rhythm is. Jimmy's mixing it up throughout the song, but roughly if you can cop this groove, bam, 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 ba, bam, bam, you'll be in good shape. Okay, so that's the first measure. Continuing onwards, we're going to play a G chord. And Jimmy would often play his bar chords with his thumb in the bass. So rather than playing a G chord like this, he would use his thumb to play the note G, 3rd fret low E string. We're going to skip the A string, just going to mute that out so we don't hear it. Then I'm going to play on the 5th fret D, 4th fret G, 3rd fret on the B string. So if I can play all of that together, the E string, the D, G, and the B strings, that's a G chord. So in the second measure, we're going to split G and A. So we're going to have 2 beats of the G. And then we're going to move this shape up. So we're going to play A. And now we're going to do a little riff with the A chord. What we're going to do is we're going to hammer on the B string with the 4th finger. So the idea would sound like this. And Jimmy would do this a lot. Because he's using his thumb in the bass note, our 4th finger is free to do hammer-ons and pull-offs on the top 3 strings on the 7th fret. In this case, we're going to do it on the B string. When we do that, the name of the chord is A6. Here's A, here's A6. So coming from the G chord, here's what the second measure sounds like. And let's put these 2 measures together now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do that 3 times. On the 4th time, we're simply going to hit the open low E string, and then we have a break. And that's where he sings, "Excuse me while I kiss the sky," at least during the first verse. Okay, so why don't you try playing the verse along with me now. We'll take it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, coming out of the break, we're going to have this phrase. So we're going to play an octave shape, starting on the 7th fret of the A string. That note is E. We're also going to play E on the 9th fret of the G string. So we're going to strike those 2 strings. You're going to have to mute the D string. We're going to slide from E up to F sharp, so slide up 2 frets. Back down to E. Down 2 more frets to D. So we just did this. So we're going to slide up, back, and then we'll strike the 5th fret. So the phrase, once again, sounds like this. Okay, now we're going to play a phrase that we've already played once in the beginning of the song. 9th fret D string, we're going to slide into that. 7 G, 8 on the B, give that a slight push. So play those 3 notes 2 times. Okay, so after he says, "Excuse me while I kiss the sky," here's the phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's the verse.